Okay, welcome everyone as we continue our tour through Masechtas Zevachim in the Mishna Yomis, and we are sponsored Lili Nishmas David ben Chaim, L'Refuah Shalema for Yomis ben Chayisar, Yaakov ben Bas Yaleim for the schus of Avram ben Yom ben Ish ben Malk Yudis and family. We're also sponsored by the Fisher family, Lili Nishmas Basi Bas Rabbi Shlomo ben Avram Alevi, Perel Bas Ruvain. We're sponsored by Yol Klugman and family for their Panos Gzunta Nachas, and we're sponsored L'Refuah Shalema for Avigdor Aryeh ben Rivka, Hinda Bas Chayisar, Moshe Meir ben Esther Fadl, Yitzhak ben Tzim ben Dusha, Rivka bas Shira Leah, Chana bas Shashabina, and Meir ben Chayisara. They should have a Refuah Shalema b'Seich Shar Chayli Yisrael. Now remember we said that if you have in one of the four Avodas Hadam, one of the four blood services, Shchita, Kabbalah, Halacha, Zrika, you have a machshava of Chutz Lizmanai, to do it either the eating or the smoking up after its time, then that carbon would be pigel, and it would be an isakaris. If you have a machshava of chutz l'mekaymai to do it outside of its place, then that's only puzzle. But we said even if it's pigel, that's only if you didn't do anything else wrong. So ketzad karav mater k'mitzvasai, what does it mean that you did everything else right? Shachat b'shtika, you did the shchita without any untoward kavana. And then kiba v'hilach v'zarak chutz l'zmana, you did the kabbalah, halacha, and the zrika, having machshava to eat it or to smoke it up after its time. So the only thing you did wrong is chutz l'zmana. Or shachat chutz l'zmana, you did shchita of having a mind to do it after its time, and then kiba v'hilach v'zarak b'shtika, you did the kabbalah, the halacha, and the zrika quietly. Or shachat v'kiba v'hilach v'zarak, you did all four kabbalah, all four avodas hadam chutz l'zmanei with a machshava chutz l'zman, but you didn't do anything else wrong. Zeu shekar v'amata k'mitzvah, so that means you did everything else right except having a machshava of chutz l'zmanei. So then that carbon would be forbidden to be eaten as pigel, and it would be under the punishment of kares. What would be ketzad loy karav amatik mitzvah? So what does it mean if you didn't do everything else correctly? Oh, shachat chutz l'mekami, you did the shchita with a machshava to do it outside of its place, which already disqualified the carbon. And then kiba v'hilach v'zar chutz l'zman, and then you did the kabbalah, halacha, and the zrika with a machshava of pigel to do it after its time. You had a machshava pigel when you did the shchita, but kiba v'hilach v'zarak when you did the kabbalah, halacha, or the zrika with a machshava of chutz l'mekaymai. So there was another problem besides the psul of pigel. Or if you did everything with a machshava of chutz l'mekaymai, where that of course is not a psul of pigel, so in all these cases, the animal is only puzzle, it's not pigel. Or by a Pesach and a Chatas, we disqualify it if you do it for the wrong designation. So a Pesach and Chatas sheshachton shaloi lishman, so it already wasn't karv amatik mitzvah because you did it shaloi lishman. And then kibbutz v'ilach v'zar chutz l'zman, if you did the kabbalah, halacha, the zrika with a machshava pigel, it doesn't count, because you already did not do the matik mitzvah. You did the shchita with a machshava pigel, but then kibbutz v'hilach v'zark shaloi lishman with a psul of shaloi lishman, which is a different psul. You did either the shchita, kabbalah, and the halacha, or the zrika just with a machshava shaloi lishman. In all these cases, it's puzzle, but it's not pigel. The animal is puzzle, it's disqualified, but there's no isakaris. Now, let's say you had mixed thoughts. When you did one of the four avodas hadam, you had in mind lechol kazayis b'chutz, to eat a kazayis outside, and ukzayis l'macha. And then you had in mind to have ukzayis l'macha. But again, it's not pure pigel, because there's something else adulterated in it. Ukzayis l'macha, or you reversed it. You first had a machshava pigel, and then ukzayis b'chutz. Or kachatzi zayis b'chutz v'kachatzi zayis l'macher. That's for sure, because you didn't have a minimum of a kazayis with a machshava of pegel. Or kachatzi zayis l'macher v'kachatzi zayis b'chutz. Again, you don't have a share of a kazayis with a machshava of l'macher of pegel. All these cases, pasul v'ein b'karos. Now here, Rabbi Yehuda adds a new angle. He argues. He says that it depends which psul you had in mind first. If you had in mind first chutz l'zmanai, that locks it as pigel. And then if you have in mind chutz l'mekayim afterwards, it doesn't remove the designation of pigel. If you had in mind chutz l'mekayim first, that locks it as puzzle. Then if you have in mind chutz l'zmanai afterwards, it doesn't become pigel. Let's see that inside. Am Rabbi Yehuda Zaklav. Imach sheves hazman kodma l'mach sheves hamakom. This is another opinion. If the machshava of pigel comes before the machshava of chutz l'mekayim, so since you had the machshava of pigel first, it locks it in with an issa karos. Pigel b'chayan v'lav karos. The imach sheves hamakom kodma l'mach sheves hazman. But Rabbi Yehuda holds if you had the psul of chutz l'mekayim first, it locks it in as being puzzle. Then even if you have a machshava of chutz l'zmanai afterwards, it can't become pigel. Puzzle v'ein b'karos. The Chachamim, as we explained, the Chachamim say no, it makes no difference. If it's not just chutz l'zmanai, whether you did it in the beginning or afterwards, zeh v'zeh. If it's adulterated with another machshava psul, like chutz l'mekayim or Pesach and Achat Shloi Lishma, pasul v'ein b'karos. Now here's another thing. There's two types of eating. There's eating of a person, and there's the eating of the mizbeach. Can you combine the chatzi zayis of eating with the chatzi zayis of smoking on the mizbeach, since they're both eating? One is eating of a human, and one is eating of the mizbeach. Says the Mishna, you can't. Lechol kachatzi zayis or lahakter kachatzi zayis. If he has in mind to eat a half a kazayis l'macher and to smoke up a half a zayis l'macher, kosher. Why? Because she'ein achila v'aktorah mitztarfim. Eating of the person and eating of the mizbeach cannot combine to give you the minimum amount of a kazayis. When you look at that, we're already up to the third parak of Zevachim, chugging along with all this new Yediyas. Again, we want to remind you, we are looking for a sponsor for this week's Chumash Share, 718-916-3100, rmmwsi at AOL.com. Thank you for joining us, and have a wonderful evening.